Some of my favorite watches come from when people reach out to us.
That has kind of been the case.
Yeah.
We've had some really fun stuff come from that. Yeah.
And this one is no different.
True. Very true.
It was a really good watch and a really good discussion.
Yeah, well, we're not going to give anything away because it's coming following this opening. All the good stuff. But one thing about this movie, it did make me think of Space Trucker Bruce.
Yeah. Which I still recommend to people.
Oh, yes. If you're new and you haven't seen it, go back. Well, first watch it and then go back and listen to our episode on it and then listen to at the time we called it a bonus episode with Anton and Carl, who are responsible for this bad boy.
I recommended it to someone on the river just the other day when we were there.
Yeah, as we were burning ourselves.
Crispin.
Yeah.
We complained about that a lot in the episode, too.
Feed. Yeah, this is only a day after we recorded the episode, folks. So, yeah, we're still...
It's so ouchy.
Acting like burn patients.
Babies.
It's terrible. It's hard to sleep.
Yeah.
If anything touches it, you're just like, Yeah. Anyway, so enough about that. What's coming is really, was really fun to watch.
Look, I didn't.
It's okay.
That's my thing.
We can do what we want. We can leave our phones on.
Yeah. It's an update on Lily's travel.
Yes, the midge is on her way home as we're recording this from 2 weeks a little over 2 weeks with Grandma and Grandpa. Having a blast.
Having fun and coming back. And I'm glad to have her back.
Me too. And she's right away. She's going to be about a week and then she's off to doing something else. Just for the day, though. She's not leaving.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, this is well worth a listen. It's well worth a lot. Oh, Jesus Christ. Well worth a watch. I highly recommend it. And it's because someone reached out to us. So, another reason just to reach out.
Reach out.
And
we talk about stuff.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much more we can talk about this without giving anything away. So maybe we should get into the episode. I don't think we have anything more to add.
Yeah, let's jump into the episode and talk about it for a long time.
Okay, but first, make sure you watch Space Trucker Bruce.
Yeah. It's really great.
Okay.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
Death Kappa.
Oh, real quick. So last night we buckled in and we watched Death Kappa.
It was amazing. I love it so much. It's one of my new favorites.
It's on Tubi. You got to see it.
It's so good. If you like kaiju movies.
Oh yeah. If the name's Godzilla, Rodan, Ghidorah, Gamera, if those just make you go, you have to watch Death Kappa. It's
incredible.
It's so good. Before we were talking about, Yakuza Apocalypse.
Yes.
And the costume, the frog-like thing.
The frog.
I wanted that so bad with the eyes that go, bang. It has a new rival.
It does. I don't want to disillusion anyone. It's really dumb.
It knows it is too.
It does.
So this is one of those, everybody involved knows what's going on. It's how it was written. It is listed as a comedy. It plays into it. And if you're a fan of these things and you've grown up with Godzilla and everything, you've got to see this. It is awesome.
Love it.
Yeah.
Just had to throw that in there.
Yes. Good call. Good call. Because it came after we did all the stuff. So,
all right. Now let's talk about our movie.
Let's get into this movie. Hey, B-Siders. Welcome to another episode of Bravo for the B-Side. This is Jim.
This is Danny.
Why do you sound so sad?
I'm in so much pain.
I know.
Fun comes at a cost.
Heavy cost.
I know.
A really heavy cost. Yeah. So yesterday.
We went tubing down a river.
Yeah. more than 5 hours.
Yeah, somewhere around the neighborhood of 5 hours.
It was over. It was like 5.5.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole expedition was like almost 8.
Yeah.
So we got there at 10, but it took a long time to get actually into the water. But anyway, those of you who are unaware, tubing involves sitting on a giant inner tube
And
on the
floating
water.
down the river.
Yep. In the sun. All
Relentless,
day.
terrible sun.
And
The eldritch being
yes,
controls our universe. Well, our galaxy at least.
our star
Mm-hmm.
decided to punish us.
I thought it was my friend. I thought the sun was my friend.
You have only gotten a couple of burns. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you've gotten red, but then you tan out.
Yeah.
You know, I, on the other hand, crisp every single time.
You're a very crispy man.
Yeah. So, here's where we are. Long story short, we're actually applying burn spray
Yeah.
to some,
Like
not all.
medical burn spray.
Yes. It is painful, uncomfortable, and unfortunately, this is where we are as we're reviewing this movie.
Yes.
So, any seemingly weird, out of nowhere, unjustified anger or irritation,
Or whimpering.
that too, has nothing to do with this film, right?
Right.
We are in pain, and in weird different spots too. Yours are like right in front of your armpits.
Yeah.
That V section of
yeah.
torso and arm.
Right.
Mine
Because that's the spot I didn't get with
across the
sunscreen very well.
entire front of where the ankle meets the foot.
Right.
And it is like crimson in color.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
Yeah, these are like real legitimate burns.
And for the
my hand.
For the first time ever, and this is Mr. Desert Guy here.
Yeah.
I've gotten sunburn on the top of my hand, which I realize is more of a pain in the ass than I thought.
It's a real ouchie.
Because driving, all we did was go to the fucking grocery store today.
Yeah.
Right? It's been a chill day. But just having my hand on top of the steering wheel, it was just like, you know, I'm going to go 3rd degree on you if you don't move me. That's why I was holding at the bottom.
Yeah.
Which, you know, screws up our
You don't usually do.
No. So anyway, that was our big level of excitement. We had fun.
We did. It was
Let's
a fun day.
Say that. We did have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. We made new friends, met up with one old friend.
Well, yeah, interesting. So yeah, the old friend that we met up with is the woman who introduced us.
Yeah.
So it was nice to, and we don't see her often.
Yeah, not often enough.
Right. So it was really nice. And yeah, she had different groups of people from different areas of her life and all just got together, tied it together poorly.
Very poorly. We could have done way better at that.
But we did, for the occasion, get a party cooler, which is an inflatable alligator
named Gus. Gus was very popular.
Oh, shit, everyone loved Gus.
Yeah.
Now, Gus's actual use as a cooler, though,
not so great.
Not so great. I think he's meant to, well, even in a swimming pool, he got hot.
I know.
In the sun. So what we're going to do is we're going to find a little cooler to put in his cavity.
Yes.
And that will still be equally entertaining. Everyone did love Gus.
Everyone did love Gus.
That's an alligator. Yes, it is.
One guy said he wanted to tackle the gator.
Oh, I know. And it brought up, almost everybody brought up Steve Irwin.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know.
Crikey.
Yeah. Forget the manner in which it was done. I kind of secretly was like melting a little inside that even now people still remember Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
And that is awesome, you know, because I see his kids pop up here and there and the stuff that they're doing they're with the zoo and it's still going and that's wonderful. But just that so many random people, you know.
Well, and I love the fact that everyone got so attached to Gus. Our whole group was very concerned about him every time we got into a little bit of a scrape on the river.
Oh, yeah.
Branches and rocks. And...
Yeah. Gus, watch Gus. But
you guys have Gus?
Gus came through with flying colors.
He did.
No punctures. One of our riders did have a puncture in his tube, so we were wondering, is he going to make it?
Yeah.
I think one of them, who was Tina, rolled over when we were sitting there. I just looked at Jordan. I said, "Hey, you're going to die within sight of your dream." That thing's going fast. She loved that. But to be fair, the river, while in some places is a few feet deep, and there's a couple where it's like, maybe 7 little.
Yeah, but I think maybe it gets up to 10 in places.
Yeah. But 80% of this thing is 4 inches to a foot. So there's no real danger of anything bad happening.
It's a pretty safe river.
Yeah.
And it doesn't go fast at all.
No. It's 3 miles and took us 5.5 hours.
Yeah. We're going at a pretty leisurely pace.
Man, was it packed.
Oh my gosh. Wild.
Yeah. So anyway, we decided to damage ourselves in the name of fun. And
we succeeded.
We absolutely did.
Next time I'm bringing an umbrella.
I said I'm not going to do this again because it hurts so much. And here's the funny thing. Yes, we did have sunscreen, multiple applications.
Yeah.
And I had it on at one point so thick, it looked like I was frosted with frosting.
I did too. And we reapplied, I think, 4 or 5 times.
Yes. And didn't help.
It did nothing. Although it probably did something. I mean, the reason we're not.
I suppose my shins aren't on fire. My knees are. Those are terrible. My oh God.
Did you hit your sunburn?
Yeah. The tops of my hands, the one in particular, my ears. These headphones are fucking killing me. But what do you do?
Oh, love.
Well, I'm not going to put buds in. It doesn't work. Yeah. So I burnt the shit out of my ears. I did wear a baseball cap, but next time I'm wearing
your brim,
my boomer, or the boonie, or my brim hat.
Yeah,
should have done. Talked about wide brimmed hats a lot, floating down there, baking.
I'm going to get one of those little shelters that goes over the back of the tube.
That was brilliant for that little kid.
Yeah, that was genius.
Well, yeah, we'll see if this happens.
I'm not embarrassed. I'll be a fully grown adult in my own little shelter.
I'm not terribly interested in finding things to help us along with this, because I don't even know if we're going back. Because we did decide it's not for the girl.
Yeah.
It's still very much, they had little kids there, power to them. I think kids have a hard enough time without being surrounded by, there were hundreds and hundreds of people around us at any given time.
Yeah.
Not like hundreds of people on the river. Easily a couple thousand in that trek, in that time.
It was a lot.
Because when we passed over the bridge, there was still a huge pipeline of people, And as with many adults on rivers, there's booze, which is fine. How they act isn't really, you don't want your kid always have to see that. But there were other things going on.
Yeah.
And we'll just, I think we'll wait a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe a midweek thing. But anyway, what else has happened? I don't think we did anything.
It might be more tame if we took her in the middle of a week.
I was thinking like a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Might. Let's see. We went metal detecting. Nothing great. Found some giant ass iron steel stakes. Yeah. These are huge. And one tiny tent stake. I don't have any news, really. What's going on out there?
All I can think about is the sunburn.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let me talk about this movie a little bit before we get into some details.
Yeah, sure.
Right. So this was an instance. This was kind of like a cold call, right?
We got an email.
And it was, very professional. Had a whole press kit thing attached to it. Very generic in that it wasn't, it's like a mass mail. Yeah. And that's fine. That's fine. We have no problem with that.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we are a, group that, excuse me, did this film and thought you might want to see it. And it was shown at a local theater and got really good, review and this and this and this. So I'm like, I'll click on the link. And interestingly, we did it during the workday.
Yes, we both kind of previewed through it.
So, yeah, I mean, because there was moments where it's just like, instead of listening to music, we can, have that run and just kind of stuff. And at the end, I thought, you know what? I want to do this for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Give it a thorough 100% of my attention watch. Because there were just little things that I picked up here and there. And the reason we decided to do this, 1, because someone reached out. 2, it was watchable. 3, it was reachable.
Yeah.
We have that problem sometimes. I'm sure people made some excellent films that are sitting on a flash drive somewhere. But if we can't get to it, or you can't get it to us, we can't talk about it. I will just say up front, this is who we make this podcast for.
Yeah.
This group of young people, this is who we want listening. This is who this is all about. You're starting out, you're doing your thing, wherever your position is, whether you're like making your first one or your 5th one,
mm-hmm.
and you're still trying to figure all this stuff out. This is why we pick indie films and B movies, because there's going to be way more tangible lessons in there for you to try and emulate, to look at and analyze, dissect, say, I want to do that. I love that shot.
Or I want to make sure not to do that.
Right. Or they were right. That looks dangerously close to something I did. I'm going to do better and learn how not to do that. Because nobody's perfect out of the gate. Anyone who pretends to be, or anyone who claims someone else is just full of shit. It's a learning process. Doesn't matter what fucking school you go to. Doesn't matter if you go to school. Doesn't matter when you started. It's a learning process. And that's why we do this. So I thought this was awesome. These guys sent it to us. They're the ones who should be listening. Right? This is the kind of group that we did this. So, yeah, I think without further ado, unless you have anything to add.
No.
All right. Why don't we get into this bad boy?
So,
tell us what we're going to watch or talk about.
I
watched
it. Yeah. You good?
I hurt so much I can't think. Well, go ahead. I don't know where to put.
Go ahead, and then you keep talking.
Because I'm talking through the pain. I don't know where to put my feet, because everywhere I bend them hurts, and if I let them hang, then it just. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
This movie is called The Rogue Barrens. It was released in 2022, directed by Thomas Rex, written by Aidan Sherrill, starring Aidan Sherrill, Colin Fryer, and Thomas Rex. Not rated. This had a no budget. This was not a budgeted film.
Went out of their way to say 0 budget.
Right. Here is the plot. In a cold, dark, and not too distant future, a rebellious teen escapes the confines of a dystopian megacity, seeking out a group of nomads in the bleak wasteland known as the Rogue Barrens. Befriending an uncanny stranger, the two embark on a journey that will test both their sanities.
Sounds good.
Yeah. We don't usually put composers in our upfront info about a film, but I wanted to do it this time because it is important.
Mm-hmm.
The music of this film was done by Jackie Joy.
Right. And so we know this is the year of women in film.
Yes.
But we have talked about at every level, right? We prefer written and or directed because those are the ones that have the hardest.
Well, those upfront,
Yeah. But, we've also, focused on the actors, the story. But this one, we've talked about how important your soundtrack is.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
It was awesome.
She did an awesome job. Tell us more.
Well, she's got 42 composer credits on IMDb, and her music in this one was incredible.
Yes.
It made it. And we'll talk more about that later.
Absolutely. All right. Shall we start?
Start us.
All right. So we open with some various shots of life in different cities. We have Elon Musk talking about AI, creating an interface with the brain. We got some shots of Mark Zuckerberg, and then we see some protests and riots, right? And this is all coming together to lead us to a super basically saying it has been many years since the integration of Nexus, a neural implant. It's to enhance and do all this great stuff. Okay. Then Earth became ravaged by climate change, sea levels rising, high latitude rainfall, atmosphere losing its humidity. Everything that could go wrong has been going wrong. And it's really not that far fetched because we're facing a lot of this right now. And in all of this, there's been some mayhem, there's been some stuff. And we have a new regime called the System that has come together out of all of this bad stuff going on. This megalopolis has formed. Everything else in the outskirts has kind of faded away, right? And basically barrens. So this new regime called the System has mandated that anyone over the age of 18 has to get the Nexus neural implant. And this was done secretly to oversee and control the masses, right? Makes sense? Those who resisted had their memories wiped and they were reprogrammed and forced into servitude. If you tried to run, you were killed. Pure and simple.
Yep.
Somewhere out there, like in a lot of dystopian scenarios, a myth has penetrated the megalopolis. And there's a group called the Nomads who are supposedly living
outside the system and are free.
Yep, free of the AI, free of the system, and kind of taking what the system is saying, putting it on its heels or its head is, you can't survive out there.
Right.
This is the best way. But it's not. That's what they're saying. All right, so after all that, we have a young man. He's in the dark, sloughing through what looks like an old mine. And by that, I mean a commercial mine, because it's just not, it's, big cut stone with a flashlight. And when he reaches the end, he breaks into the sunlight, and then he's happy as he starts walking into tall grass and foliage. And then we have a rising shot, and we get to see overhead that he has escaped the megalopolis that's in the background.
So then we cut to that boy. He's knocked out against a tree. He's got some bleeding coming from his head and his arm.
Yeah.
And then pretty good effects. It's dry, so he's been there a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then another young man walks up and starts picking at, there's a body near boy number 1, as I call him.
Yeah. I called him gun guy.
Okay.
Because he had a gun.
The body that boy 2 is picking at has a glowing light in the back of its head, like in the neck area.
Yeah, like at the base of the spine.
Yeah. And then boy 1 comes to and shoots a warning shot at the new guy. And then forces him, he checks him for an implant. He's very suspicious. What are you doing out here? But the new guy is like, you're wasting time. This thing is already sending out a distress signal. We need to go. So the boys hustle away. And already the soundtrack for this is very professional. The colors and technical aspects are also very well done. And then they're in a barn or like an old building of some kind.
Yeah, I right away called it a barn.
Yeah, I think it's a barn. And we have boy 1 is remembering this creepy humanoid figure with red glowing eyes. Like it looks like a normal person, just red glowing eyes, and it's like screaming.
Yeah.
And then the new guy comes in, kind of breaking him out of his reverie, and offers some food and some salve for the arm injury of boy number 1. And we learned that the new guy is Beckett, and our boy with the gun is Eli. Names right off the bat. I like it.
Yeah. I don't know. Should we wait till the end or should we pause and talk when we see things like that?
I don't know. This is really a free form kind of deal.
Yeah. So we have mentioned names, and it's not just the studios. I mean, they have people who literally they poll people on names of characters and scripts.
Yeah.
Right before they get a green light, before all that shit goes on, they'll take a script and they'll bring in. So you've heard about people in LA getting pulled off the streets to come see a secret screener, right? So they can get opinions on a rough cut of a film. They will do that also with names. And it's important. We've talked about how, like, back in the 70s, the Incredible Hulk TV show, instead of Bruce Banner, they changed his name to David Banner because, and I quote, the name Bruce inspired thoughts of homosexuality.
Which is weird.
I have never been able to fucking figure that out, but that is exactly why they changed it from, Dr. Bruce Banner to Dr. David Banner. So anyway, names are important. And these, like you said, click.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I mean, the only time a name wouldn't be important is if your movie has only one character.
Yeah, they don't even need a name, really.
Right.
You could just, guy on screen, Robert Redford.
The dude. Right. But even that Tom Hanks movie, Castaway, even he had a name in that movie, but I don't remember what it was.
Well, but there were other people in it.
Yeah,
if it had just started like the Robert Redford one, if they hadn't done the flashbacks, it's just him, a boat, and shit. If they'd have cut the like two other people that were in the film out, it would have just been, what's this movie about? Some dude. They could even put that in the credits.
Yeah.
Played by Robert Redford.
But if this is right, but if this is your first episode listening to us, you know how important and how many times we go 3/4 of the way through a freaking movie before we learn anyone's name.
Right. So, number one, kudos, guys, because you fucking gave us everything we needed to know on the setup, and then bam, who we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Without, waiting until the end. So, the nicknames have now died.
So, Beckett and Eli start getting to know each other. They've got a little bit of small talk going on. Well, it's kind of big talk, I guess. We learned that Beckett killed his AI boss and left the city and has been out here for what he says is a few months. And he seems a little unhinged, but it's not weird because he seems to have been out here on his own for a bit.
Right.
Right. And he seems kind of glad just to have someone to talk to. There are a couple of sound blips here and there, but it's nothing major. So in the morning, Eli wakes up and Beckett isn't there. But his arm is healed. So the salve worked pretty freaking well.
Yes, it did.
So he goes out looking for Beckett and finds him kind of just outside, talking to himself. And then, he quickly hides something in his jacket as Eli walks up. But Eli doesn't see it. And then we kind of move past that really quickly. And we learn that Eli is running from the mandate because he's just about to turn 18.
Right.
He doesn't want to get that forced implant. And Beckett pretty easily reasons out that Eli wants to find the nomads. And he pulls out a map, which is evidently a rarity in this dystopian world.
I liked that.
Yeah.
Not too many people have ever mentioned that, like in dystopian society, not straight apocalypse, right? Things have happened, but society's still moving on strong. Mm-hmm. They just want to be outside of it. But the fate of physical elements, and we have a whole thing centered around the almost near complete loss of all physical documentation.
Yeah.
Right. And its preservation on what's left.
Right.
It's funny because I was thinking about this yesterday because they were having a conversation about emails versus texts.
Right.
Right. And I thought, I'm going to stay quiet. I have my thoughts on this. If you're a professional, you don't fucking text anybody. You send emails. You send documentation in a professional format. And if your business involves texting customers and fellow workers and stuff, you're really not a professional setup.
Right. Email or some other professional modicum of communication like Slack.
Right. But then they were also talking about like handwriting, why do that and all, and there was arguments for and against. I just stayed out of it. But here's the deal, folks. No matter how much you think we're in a digital age, all that shit that you think you're doing without paper is getting on fucking paper somewhere. That's like the long and short of it. So it's extremely important. Plus books. A tangible book will always beat a digital book, right? There's an experience in handling a book and reading it that because I've done both.
Yeah.
I have some books
smelling it, touching the pages.
Yeah, especially old books too. And here's the thing: digital. We have books that are 200 years old.
Yeah.
Right. And there are people who collect books that are 1,000 years old.
Right.
Digital hasn't proven to be able to fucking stick around. Right. Think of all the early digital.
Keeps changing.
All Julia Marchese was talking about this. She knows people who started trying to do digital film and stuff, and those formats aren't fucking readable by any computer because the codecs have been retired.
Yeah.
So, what's forever about it? But anyway, I loved this detail.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about it when they're talking about it, I'm like, that movie. That's the first time somebody's really brought it up. Unless it was like the Book of Eli, where that's sort of like the plot.
Yes.
But it's just a particular book. Anyway.
Well, it's, that one particular book.
The one particular book.
The one book. So this map shows where the border is, and Beckett has made a lot of notes on it, right?
Yeah.
And there is some, there's a little expositive dialogue here, but I mean, it's the very beginning of a sci-fi movie, and that's kind of how it has to be.
Yeah.
Right? And it doesn't pull you out.
No, it just kind of rolls in.
Mm-hmm. So, Beckett's been looking for someone to help him get over the border. And he reasons that Eli's got a gun. Eli can help protect him. Beckett can show Eli the way. They're both looking for the same thing. So they agree to go together. So then we get a very nicely done montage of them traveling together.
Yes.
With excellent music that fits perfectly and really just kind of makes it. And it feels like a lot of people consider these kinds of things like filler. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I really love these kinds of scenes because you can get across a lot of information very quickly. So then we get a camp night scene, and Eli is fantasizing about the beautiful free life of the nomads. And again, the score is very lovely. But in the scene, I get the sense that Beckett seems more the practical type, less of a dreamer than Eli.
I can see that.
I mean, he kind of goes along with it, but he's not as into it as Eli is.
Well, so we learn a couple of things here. Number one, they end up dancing around the fire. Or no, Eli's imagining dancing around a fire. This is what he thinks the ideal life is. Yeah, they're dancing around a fire. They're getting high. They're sitting together in small, cozy tents. They're living off the land. And it's this really idyllic existence, which to almost anybody would be,
hell yeah.
Paradise. I mean, that's what it's all about. Don't need or want for anything because you can get it and work it. That's why we watch all these Alaskan living shows. People who live out in the boons. Fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
But we find Eli lived in an orphanage. And then at one point he was adopted by an AI. He says it was terrible. It was the worst day of his life when they let that happen. So we have morning. Eli wakes up. Beckett is coming with firewood. And then there's this shaking going on. And he yells, Beckett yells, hide. So they scramble into the trees. And overhead, a massive drone is searching.
I love that you used the word scramble because I also used that word in my notes.
We are one. I just want to talk about this. Anyone who's ever tried to do visual effects, right, especially digitally, it is no easy task to have like a ship or anything fly over treetop as you're looking up through the trees, right?
Mhm.
So this is like winter or late fall because like a lot of these trees, they're no leaves, right? It's just branches. But to have something fly overhead and have all those branches and stuff crossing the screen, it's, you know, it's not a one click and done kind of thing. And I've mentioned this in a few other films where like, even if like a situation was like, this wasn't really good, but kudos to making this visual effect look fucking great.
It did look really good.
I mean, yeah, I was looking, there was no flutter. There was no chromatic edging. I mean, it was really good and it wasn't long. The secret to making stuff look good is not do it for fucking ever because it's time consuming and expensive, you know. So anyway, that was really well done. I love that. After a bit, it goes away. Stop searching for them. And then there's some nice camera drone shots.
Oh, yeah.
Which, again, you know, drone, if you have access to a drone with a high def camera and you have someone who knows how to pilot it,
you can get some gorgeous overhead
oh my
sweeping
God.
shots.
I feel bad because the crane boom operators are like probably starting to run out of work. Now, there's some things a drone cannot do. It's just like people are filming with their phones and SLRs, right? You know, DSLRs and stuff. But the bottom line is there's a limit to all of it. Like the iPhone is great, but there's just a lot of shit that no one will be able to do that I could do with a camera. My, 15, 20-year-old camera, I can whip that out and get shots you'll never get on your fucking phone. You will need so many weird, bulky appendages and add-ons and things.
And filters.
And filters. And I could do it with just a lens, no filters on it, just by bringing it up, muscle memory, right? No fancy bullshit. And it'll be a better picture than you'll ever fucking get. There are always going to be those limits just because of the way things are designed mechanically. Now, the drones can do a lot, an awful lot. And I give credit to, A, the makers of them, and B, the people who learn how to use them.
Pilots.
Yep. Well, the pilots are piloting, but filmmakers need to know how to use that. It's not enough to say, oh, I can just, get some footage and cut it in. This was really nicely done.
Yeah.
And it flowed with the story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that whole thing of, if you exit to the left in the next shot, please come in from the right kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. It goes back into the cut shots of them walking. Right.
Yeah.
So again, that montage, and we'll talk more about that at the end.
Could I put in one quick mention?
Please do.
It's something I don't know if you noticed, and I don't know if it was intentional, but if it wasn't intentional, I think that the lads who made this film should say, yes, this was intentional. It was a metaphor.
You saw that.
You caught that.
Yeah.
The longer so at the beginning of this movie, Eli comes out of the tunnels and he's got his bag slung over his shoulder.
Right.
Right. Beckett carries a backpack, but Eli's got this, it looks like an army surplus bag.
Yeah. It's not even like a full duffel. It doesn't really have, it's like a big canvas throw all.
Right. Okay. So at the beginning, that bag is, it's not very full, right? There's not a lot in it.
Right.
But the further along in the movie we go, the fuller his bag seems to get.
Yes.
Right. And I was watching this and I was like, I wonder if that's symbolic of something.
I wondered, is it because he's collecting a bunch of shit that Beckett's showing him, stuff you can harvest to eat and stuff? Because Beckett's given him
lots of lessons about surviving out there.
Yeah. Like the Bear Grylls whole thing.
Right.
But in a better way.
Yeah.
So,
right.
Or is it, because I did have that thought, and I had undertones of Unbreakable, where Bruce Willis's character throughout the movie, his poncho gets bigger, and every time we see him, and bigger, and by the end it has become more cape-like, more superhero,
right,
than just a rain poncho. And so many people miss that.
Right.
Right. And yeah, is it because he's just getting shit to survive, or because I don't want to say.
Okay. We'll talk about it at the end.
Yeah, we'll talk more about it at the end.
Okay.
Okay, keep going.
Oh, is it my turn?
I don't know. Is it?
think
No, I was going.
You were going.
I hurt so much.
Sorry.
I know you do too. Let's see. Oh, so when they come to rest, Beckett is writing in a book. It's his journal.
Mm-hmm.
Says he pretty much records everything he experiences, which I thought, that's pretty cool. And then Eli says maybe Beckett will let him read a page or two. He might learn something. That did not go over well. It was a casual mention, and you could see Beckett was super not into that. But the way the actor laid it out, I thought was perfect. Didn't have a hissy fit, didn't have anything, but he makes it very plain with a subtle explanation that the answer is no, and closes it with, "You should never read another man's journal. It's private."
Can I?
Please.
Okay. Here's what I wrote.
Okay.
Maybe our point of view is different.
Really?
I wrote, Eli asks about it, and Beckett very temptingly describes the kinds of things he writes in it, and then says no.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because he lays out all these very juicy things that he would write about in the thoughts I have and stuff I've seen.
Yeah, or, thoughts, people I've run into and,
Right.
Yeah.
But the way he describes it, it's like he's holding up this very juicy apple.
He made it a little bit more salacious.
He did.
Than I let on. That's fair. But I loved that because it in the end, he didn't, it wasn't no, don't ever look at my fucking journal.
Right.
Kind of thing. It was just and it's funny because when the cut to Eli, you can see in his face, he's like, "Oh, what did I just kick the hornet's nest? I'm just smile and nod. Yeah, let's move on." So they're back on the move. And as they're going, somebody takes a shot at them. So they get to cover. Eli returns fire. The person lets out this weird screech. And Beckett says, "Hurry and kill it. It's warning the others." It's the same sound from the red glowing-eyed sort of dream thingy.
Mm-hmm.
So Eli manages to kill it. Beckett says they have to run. And then there's echoes of that weird sound. So apparently things are coming. And then we see a POV of an AI. And, it's zoning in on them. And you can see it's communicating with the others.
Right.
It's they're running and they're doing this. And then we cut to several of them chasing the boys. They end up losing them. And then the AIs can't pick up the trail, so they run off.
No. The boys run through. I don't know if you saw it. It's a very subtle effect. They're running away from the AI, and it almost looks like heat wave kind of effect, but that was the border. It's a physical border.
Yes.
And the boys jumped through it, and since they were past it, the AIs can't go past it.
I didn't write that down.
It was a cool effect.
Well, I did see it, but
Yeah.
I just didn't attribute it.
Oh, sure.
Anyway.
That's okay.
So after a while, they shout and start celebrating losing their pursuers. And later, Eli is gathering firewood. Finds Beckett left out his journal. So, of course, he starts to read it. Beckett, and what he's reading, we have Beckett detailing his journey from the city. Day one starts out, right?
Right.
And that's flip, another day. And then we all of a sudden get to day 316. He found a new mushroom and killed a man.
Yes.
And at that point, Beckett shows up and he says, looking for something. Eli says he was looking for his water. Beckett can clearly see it was a lie. He says that they need to get some more wood.
And day 316 doesn't quite line up with Beckett saying that he's been out for a few months.
Right. The Earth's orbit hasn't changed around the sun, and days are still 24 hours. So,
316 is pushing up to, a year-ish.
Yeah, it's 10 months.
Yeah.
Roundabout. So that night, Beckett says he can't believe they made it. Eli is a little bit less jovial.
A little bit, yeah.
You know, Beckett says he's been keeping something secret. So he pulls out a jar of alcohol and some kind of root.
Right.
And he's been saving it for a special occasion, as it were. And here's where I thought, my friend Eli, please don't drink from that jar. You just got caught reading a journal, and then you had to go on the run. And now, all of a sudden, he's got something for you to drink. I thought, this is where it's going to go south. But I was wrong.
Yeah.
Eli does take a drink while Beckett stares at him. And that's what made it even like worse. Like, dude, do you not see him? Like, I don't even know what to call it. Just, he's going to be gone in a minute. But that's not what it was. Beckett ends up taking a drink right after. So later, they're dancing around the fire, basically blitzed, and we have some shot. It kind of follows that whole thing.
Yeah, there is some kind of drug, a hallucinogen.
Right, but it starts out where it's like a little loose, and then it just kind of like starts to get out of control, and then it rounds back, where later they're still pretty fucked up, but now they're just like sitting by the fire. They're more chill, right? They got the initial hyper burst of, this is weird, out of their system.
And the music again, wonderful.
Yes. Beckett starts talking about fire being primal, which was a good little bit of speech.
Yeah.
It was, really on point. Beckett says, Eli asks, suppose Beckett's boss was human. Would it have made a difference in terms of killing him?
Right.
Because Beckett really laid it out for us. It wasn't even human. Just an automated decision-making, bossy, bitchy thing. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Beckett responds, which I thought was kind of awesome because it was totally not answering the question.
Oh, vagaries.
Yeah. Beckett says all men have their breaking points, and all men can take a life. It's human nature. And then after a bit, Eli starts to have a little bit of a weird out staring into the fire.
Yeah, he seems a little high. He starts hearing voices telling him to run away.
Yeah.
So we see him doing that, just that. And then he finds himself dead. And he sees Beckett pull the journal off of his own dead body.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up and Beckett is standing over him smiling. And he freaks out. And
I'm not going to lie. The first thing I thought of was Evergreen. And my first thought was, at least he's not in his underwear and there's not two of them.
That's true. That would be even worse somehow. And so, yeah, Eli freaks out a little bit and Beckett calms him down saying, it was just a dream. You okay? It's just me. Be cool, man. Because Eli's got a fucking gun.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. That's the last thing you need is a panicked gun holder.
Yeah. So again, they're walking and Eli at this point is sort of dragging ass. His bag is full.
Yeah.
It is like packed.
Yeah.
Right? And he asks where they're going and what's next. And the sound in this section is a little off.
A little bit.
But Beckett says, like Eli's just asked a really dumb question. He's like, well, we're going to find the nomads. That's like the whole point.
Yeah.
What's your problem, man? And then the trip from this point is filmed and edited very cleverly to make it seem disorienting and aimless.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was really well done.
Mm-hmm.
There's even a point where they're like walking backwards. It's played in reverse, which is kind of cool. And then the music is very distorted. I just really enjoyed this bit. And then we find Eli sitting in pain. He's clutching his stomach like he's hungry, like they're not doing super well. And Beckett is writing in his journal again. He leaves to, as he says, drop a load.
Yes.
And sets his journal prominently on top of his bag, open.
Yeah.
like the tempting fruit that it is. So Eli, of course, reads more of the journal, which sort of delves into some real weirdness.
Yeah.
Up to day 2573.
Yes.
He must not write very much on each day, like just a sentence or two, because that's a lot of days to fit in that little book.
Well, let's take a quick look at this number.
7 years.
Right. And we don't really get how old
Beckett is.
Right.
Because he looks quite young.
He does. Yeah, after about 7 years, you're sort of batshit crazy.
Well, he does say at the very beginning when he finds Eli and asks him what he's doing out here, you have to be dumb or desperate or crazy to be out here.
Yeah. Beckett's not dumb. Doesn't look desperate because he's just like,
right.
Whatever. So we locked down to crazy.
Mm-hmm. And he's writing that he has a surprise for Eli. And he knows that Eli has been reading the journal. So Beckett comes back and Eli asks who he is. And Beckett admits that he killed a man because he learned something from the man that drove him crazy.
Yes.
And that something was that the nomads don't exist. And Beckett didn't want to believe it when he heard it.
Mm-hmm.
The nomads are a pipe dream designed to lure troubled people out of the city and get rid of them.
Yeah, and it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because why do they have these drones and all these, AI-controlled slaves, basically?
Right.
Out hunting people down. What better way to flush out insurgents?
Right.
Just get them out in the fucking open.
Yeah. Give them something to try and escape to.
Yeah.
And Beckett says the nomads can't exist because he's been looking for them for 7 fucking years and hasn't found them.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So Eli kills Beckett. We've kind of come full circle here.
Yep.
And then he screams and he walks away. And we have some time with Eli walking alone, not doing great, bag stuffed to the gills.
Mm-hmm.
And just as he is kind of like collapsing, he sees smoke in the distance and rushes towards it.
Yeah, it's just kind of just like over not really a hill, but over a rise.
Mm-hmm.
It's the kind of smoke you would get with a bonfire.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah, and he runs off to it. And that's it.
The end.
That's it. So yeah, this is a what was like this? 50 minutes?
48 minutes or something?
Yeah. So roughly 50.
Yeah.
I'll just put it there. So not a long film, not an
No.
hour and a half, but you know what? Still, it's a feature. It's not a short.
Right.
Right? We passed that mark. And I just want to say at the end, they did give credit to DGI, Blackmagic Design, Adobe Creative Cloud, Manfrotto, and Rode Microphones. Now, I did see, looking through their stuff, they had made a short film. So Rode, what they like to do every year is they have a short film contest. You make a film and you have to show. So you make you short, right? And then you do like a behind the scenes thing that they want to see how you incorporated Rode microphones into it. And that is how BF McGillicuddy was born. Because I was going to do, it's only for 3, you only need to do 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. So I was going to do that 3-minute short, and I was going to use the Rode stuff because we have the lavaliers, we have all the,
We use the shotgun mic for.
Well, for the YouTube stuff. But was going to do that. And it was just going to be kind of a weird thing. I had it set up where I was going to wear the Boba Fett helmet. And then I was going to do some other shots. And it was going to be basically me talking to myself. One over here in Boba Fett's helmet and over here in Poe Dameron's helmet. Just some kind of a stupid, witty conversation, but I couldn't think of anything witty. And I just didn't have time to flesh it out.
Well, you didn't ask me. I'm full of wit.
Yeah, but it was my little thing.
Fine.
And I just didn't have time. So anyway, Rode microphones, I think that's awesome that they do that. So these guys put all this stuff at the end. If you have the stuff, credit it, folks. That's just a little business sense, right? You're not getting sponsorship, but show the world what you use to create your stuff. And maybe one day someone will see something that will lead to someone talking to something that will lead to someone from one of these places reaching out saying, I like what you're doing. I like that you've done a couple, things. Your next little bit, we'd be happy to talk about maybe a little sponsorship.
Right.
Right. A little bit of,
or even some equipment.
Yeah. I tell you what, I would take fucking free equipment over money any day.
Free equipment lasts longer than money.
Because they give that shit away like, it's confetti. Because they can write that off like nobody's business. Giving money is a different thing.
Yes.
But, to say, hey, this was shot, everything was on Manfrotto Flint. And I have my camera tripod is a Manfrotto as well as the pistol grip. That son of a bitch is 20 something years.
That's sturdy.
Fucking yeah. It's awesome. Anyway, so that's all that. Let's get to the meat of this thing.
Let's talk about it.
All right.
Let's talk about it.
Reading glasses are coming off.
Whoa.
In fact, check this out. Listen. The screen has now dropped.
Yeah. I don't think mine can drop anymore. Why is mine higher than yours? What's happening?
Yours has the extra.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is really good radio, you guys, talking about our tripods that we're using.
Yeah, you have an extra element on their camera, film camera tripods. You have an extra element, though. You have a gimbal unit.
Yes, I do have a gimbal.
Yeah. So that's why yours is natively higher.
All right. Cool.
But anyway, I just want to say I enjoyed this thing so much that I did want to do it for the show, even if it didn't have a woman as the composer. And we're going to talk about her and her contribution to this. Again, because like we said in the beginning, this is why we do this. And when I emailed these guys back and told them we're doing it for the show, I'm like, you need to be listening to this. This is for you. You couldn't get, if we were writing this as a script and the incidental meeting of stuff, someone would be like, dude, that's like 2 on point.
That's 2 on the nose.
Right. Yeah. Come on. Like, well, that's how it happened. Shit.
Right.
So I want to talk about first, about how Beckett looked young.
Sure.
We were looking at their production page and we're like, they're all so young.
I know.
I mean, young to the point where they almost all look alike. It's so funny. We're just like, look at all this one. And it's not a negative in any way. It's just, it's the first film group that we've seen where they are really so very young.
Yeah.
Right?
And good for them.
And Thomas didn't say he was still in film school?
Yes.
Yeah. Even better. See, this is why we made this thing.
It's amazing.
And this is why when we see someone like these guys band together, not done with school, not done with whatever, don't have any fucking money, but they're doing stuff, that's even better. Hell yeah, we're going to talk about it.
That's that passion, that fire.
Exactly. So
get it.
It was so nice to just see. And the way that the tone of the email that they sent and everything, and they should be proud of this thing. Absolutely proud of it.
Yeah.
I'm proud to talk about it. I'm glad we got to, because here's the thing. This would have never passed our radar.
No.
It isn't out there in a high communication sector. It's not out there in a
streaming service, and there isn't like money for marketing, and it's not going to cross our paths unless we're looking specifically.
Well, on the business side of it, we are the marketing.
Sure.
That's why they're reaching out.
They
want people to...
I forget sometimes that we are that.
Yeah. We're happy to do it. I mean, I that's why I also wanted to do this. I'm like, you can bang up fucking job. Of course we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Our 7 listeners will take this to the bank.
We have more than 7 listeners.
I know. But see, every time we have to explain this fucking podcast to somebody, like yesterday,
Oh, yeah, on the river.
yeah, it's like,
You guys do a podcast? What's it about? I'm like, listen.
we couldn't pick a niche any smaller than the one I did. I don't think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just, how much smaller could it?
It could get smaller.
Maybe if you add something like the audience, all this, the new filmmakers and stuff, and this and that, B movies who wear bunny slippers.
I know someone with a doctorate in lesbian medieval literature. So, I mean, that's pretty niche.
Yeah. And I'm imagining probably not a whole lot of podcast audience.
Well, they don't do a podcast.
Exactly.
Maybe that's why.
But anyway, well done overall. There's a couple points that we're going to talk about. And this is that kind of thing where it's not like trying to soften the blow or anything. When you have no fucking money and you're using what's on hand, there's going to be points of failure. There's going to be moments where things don't line up and there isn't jack shit you can do.
But you have to work with what you've got.
Yep. You push through
Make it happen.
You push through it. You know?
And that was, there were a couple of sound blips in here, and that's fine.
Let's start with the sound. Overall, the sound was great.
Yeah.
However, just watching the film, you can tell they shot this, because they shot it outdoors, in a very windy area. And I don't know if it was consistent or they packed this all into like 1 or maybe 2 days, whatever. But there are some moments where you can tell they knew how to engineer most of it out. But folks, There are some moments, even A-list Hollywood directors in tentpole films have shit canned a whole day's worth of production because they're like, nope, there's no fucking way we can get out of this. That sound gets into the sound, recording even just once. At that level, you better not put that in a finished film because the studio will fucking make sure you never work again.
Right.
Right.
I think there were a couple of spots where one of the mics or something must have picked up the wind and they were like, well, we have to use this other one or.
Yeah. Well, you can tell a lot of it was filtered out. There's like a compression to it. It's not bad or negative. Every movie has it. I mean, that's how you get processed sound for a film. Right. Yeah, there are those, just those couple little moments that lets you know that I heard that means there's a whole bunch of shit they were successfully able to get out.
I know.
And then you could see too, when that happened, you could just see the earth around them. You know what a high ass 70 mile an hour wind looks like when in the background, you can just see everything like, oh,
right.
But hey, that's the other thing.
And here's the thing, sounds hard. Yes. We record this in as controlled an environment as we can possibly get.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And you still are fucking with sound all the time.
All the time. I mean, every episode sounds different pretty much because it really depends. The slightest movement one way or another. If we sit an inch closer together, inch further away. I mean, we have all the sound tiles, but I don't want to spend, it'd be $3. So that's like another $140 in, just sound phones. I don't even want to say tiles. In the sound phones. And then I got to spend all that time fucking putting them up so we can get up to the ceiling, which is great, but that doesn't matter because until we can cushion the ceiling, which we can't do because we're in an apartment, we can't fix anything. And those sticky strips don't work.
No.
We'll have shit bombing us. Right. So the fact that we have an 11-foot tall ceiling, we're in a tiny, tiny cathedral.
Yeah.
Right. But I make efforts to do what I can. And at some points I just fucking move on. Like, done. It is what it is. Can't do it. Right. If you look away or look this way and do whatever or get too loud. And on yours, it happens a lot because you have a higher register than I do.
Yes.
I always sound like I'm being smothered. Folks, this is it. This is me on radio. This isn't me like ultra compressed and all that stuff. I can be heard. And when I yell, I have a voice that can carry.
Yeah, you have a deep register.
But we are way far apart.
Yeah, we're wildly on different ends of the spectrum.
Working that equalization and then try to channel everything through to a single bus and deciding what to regulate before the bus and after the bus, because we're both going into it.
Yeah.
Whatever I put there handles both of us.
I mean, I've made peace with the fact that I'm in the range of Bernadette from Big Bang Theory.
I don't think you're quite
or
that
Karen
bad,
from Will and Grace.
but Karen maybe. Her
right?
register. I mean, Bernadette is like a tone and a pitch, but your register is, I always sound, like I said, like I'm being muffled. You sound live and vibrant because your register is way up here. I'm so
Sure.
far down that if I take all the bass away, and I did it on a couple of them just to, play around with, oh my God, it's terrible. I sound terrible. I sound like a bad computer voice from like Windows 95.
I would love to hear that sometime.
No, they're gone. I don't save that stuff.
All right.
I fix it and I move on. Anyway.
So,
sound is very difficult. I will not fault them for the win because you can physically see the conditions. Because that was the other thing I was going to say is, in indie film, you shoot now, or you shoot on the day you say you're going to shoot.
Yeah.
You don't have the luxury of high-paid crew and actors who schedule it well in advance and all this. And if something happens, they can reschedule, and there's a ton of other shit to do. You just don't have that.
Well, I think it's a very much like, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good, right? If your sound is 80+% good throughout your film, don't worry about that other 20%. Those, 5 or so blips where you're like, oh, this sounds so fucking bad. How do I fix it?
Well, yeah, even if you have like a modicum of knowledge of what you're doing. And I say that.
If most of your film sounds good, you're good.
Yeah. And I say that because I'm still learning sound. We've been at this for 2 years. I was doing podcasts for 2 years before this for work, right? Very different setup. So it wasn't super important, but I was playing and fiddling and stuff. Yeah. I'm not a sound engineer. I never went to school for it. And I'm sure someone's out there is like, oh, I know exactly what you need to do. Well, why don't you do this and that? Well, because I don't know what you're talking about. Right?
I just know what sounds good to me.
Why won't this bridge work? Well, because you got a blah, 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 lots of technical engineering stuff and mathematics that I haven't used.
And then you just go cross-eyed and you go,
yeah. And, I'll get right on that, man.
Sure.
No idea what you said. This goes beyond earnest effort too. They do have some knowledge.
Yeah.
Of what's going on. But yeah, there is that point where all the knowledge in the world can't help you if you don't have the right equipment, and the right equipment is expensive. And in certain occasions, the right equipment, the best you can get, will fail you because, Mother Nature doesn't give a shit if you're making a movie.
Yeah.
And anytime you go outside of 4 walls and a roof, a 100% controlled studio, you're at the whim of nature. So on the sound bit, there were those couple puffs.
Yeah.
And then there was a little warbly at that one point you were talking about.
Yeah. There were blips. That was it.
Yeah, just little blips.
But overall, it was really good. The color and tone and framing and everything, all the technical visual aspects were very well done.
Yes.
Even the effects were, they were simple, but they were effective.
Watching this whole thing, knowing that he's still in film school, I could see that he's paying attention, number one. Yeah. Nothing in here was like, I'm not going to say out of the box. I'm going to say out of the ring, because you have the box, right? And then you have the ring around it where there's all that exploratory stuff going on.
Yeah.
Where you just, so they say do this, this, and this. That's great. But what if I do this? What if I do this?
Right.
So there wasn't a lot of artsy exploration.
No, it was very much.
It was pretty much
the shots you expect.
It was by the book. It was, and by basics. In basics in filmmaking, it's extremely complicated. I just want to, because when people say, talk about photography, they're like, just stick with the basics. People who aren't photographers don't understand. Well, the fucking basics are at least a solid year of studying and learning all of these things, right? So yeah, this isn't going to go out there as highly experimental, which is good.
That's fine.
You got to hone those skills, the core skills. The only issue I had really with all of the movement stuff was the drone and the shaking.
That one bit of shaky cam.
Now let me explain. As a thing, I hate shaky cam. I was never a fan of it when Blair Witch came out. I thought, well, I kind of get it, but I did come to see a movie, and the Blair Witch happened like at the tail end of home video recorders.
Yes.
Right. So it's still on VHS tape and stuff. And nobody throughout the fucking 80s or early 90s even cared one whit to learn how to fucking shoot anything that's worth watching for home video. All right. Everybody looks like they're like a peg-legged orangutan having some sort of an epileptic event, seizures, shaking, just everything. Oh my God. That's why most home videos are just unwatchable. It doesn't make me nauseous. It gives me a headache. Like there is nothing nostalgic or sentimental about this. So when Blair Witch came out, I was like, I did pay money to see a movie. This feels like a slightly better home video. And I don't know how I feel about that. Over time, I learned how I felt about it. Most of the time, it's horseshit. We've walked past how many movies that were shaky cam, point of view.
Yeah. I mean, if we see in a description for a movie that it's a found footage film, we usually skip past it.
Interestingly enough, most of them don't have trailers.
Yeah.
Which, kind of says, oh, they knew it was a bad idea. Now they're not going to advertise it. The ones that do have trailers, we will take a look. And we have landed on, like Troll Hunter is fucking phenomenal.
It is.
Right?
That's shockingly wonderful
perfect
movie.
Combination of skilled filmmaking where I don't feel like, Aunt Josie's out there with 3 martinis in her.
Right.
Filming who the fuck knows what, 'cause she can't hold the camera. But I would have done it differently. There are ways to instill that movement. And I think one is just by limiting it. 2, some people will actually use a gimbal device or a Steadicam. And they're expensive, but you can make your own. You just have to put, the time. There's actually wonderful YouTube videos on that. I found out to make them.
Indeed.
To get movement, but not so jerky. Right. So think of it as when you're shaking the camera back and forth, every time it stops and then goes in the next direction, think of that as a hard corner in a square or a rectangle. With a gimbal unit, you can still have that movement and it's smoother. It's not so jarring and it comes together better. Think of it as like a circle, softness of a bend.
Right.
Right. I would have also Foleyed something in there at that. Because when it starts shaking, there's nothing.
Oh, with the quaky kind of thing, the rumbling.
Yeah, as we got to run. But it wasn't even at the beginning. So that's something I would have paid extra attention to myself.
Yeah, but it still works really well.
Oh, it does. We got to be honest about stuff.
Yeah.
We're not here to blow sunshine up people's asses because we've shit on a few films that.
What?
Well, a couple of them had it coming. And we talked.
Dr. Carver had it coming.
Well, we also talked about Frozen Sasquatch. It wasn't a Sasquatch and it wasn't frozen. So anyway.
I'd like to forget about that film.
I can't forget about it because it's unforgivable what they tried to pass off.
That's rotten.
Anyway.
Like the rotten bait and switch, that film.
Yeah.
Well. Okay.
So sound, most of the other stuff, I love the Foley work. And I'm just going to say this. So when he said, drop your bag in the beginning, when Beckett shows up, he drops his pack. That is exactly what I expected to hear. All of the sounds felt like they were on the same plane, the same distance from my ears.
Yeah.
Right. Unlike people who record things with like an iPhone. And when you're 3 feet in front of it, yeah, that's great. But then you got the guy in the background, kind of sounds like this. And they're just like, well, we're going to have to roll with it because that's where he was. Here's where the phone was. Boom.
Right.
Right. They're walking, the crunching, the footsteps wasn't overly excessive and it fit. It was mild. Made me believe they were walking through the terrain they were pictured in.
Yeah.
How about we talk about the montages? The travel.
Sure. Yeah.
Pick that one up.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of aspects to them, but first of all, there are films, and y'all might find this hard to believe, but there's a montage of people walking, and they're walking from the right side of the screen to the left side of the screen. And then there's another shot in that same montage of them walking, and they're walking from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. And let me tell you something, that is a very basic no-no because it loses all sense of direction.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, did they forget something?
Are they going back? I mean, you really got a very good sense of feeling like you knew where they were going, that you're going with them, that you don't get confused about what is going on in the montage.
They understood the audience has a point of view, a POV.
Right.
Right. And we've seen highly paid directors who forgot that.
Yes.
We've seen some expensive movies walking from right to left, and then the next scene on that same journey, left to right. It is disorienting, disrupting, makes no sense. It actually breaks the flow. So this might seem like a simple thing. These guys did it in every shot.
Yeah.
And it was magnificent.
It was wonderfully done.
Yes.
And the music that went along with these montages absolutely sold it.
Yeah.
The music for this whole film was just epic.
This, so let's go back to 1977. Star Wars hits the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
People fucking flock to it. And like, I've never seen anything like it. But we've had movies like Forbidden Planet. We've had a lot of other good sci-fi films. But they have had studio musicians, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we know that all through the 50s and 60s. They have the guy with a snare drum, a bass drum, and some cymbals. And it's the same kind of sound.
Yes.
Studio musicians, we're talking film studio, right? Not studio musicians through a record label. But movie studios had their own musicians, and that's just it. They're musicians, which is fine. You want a jingle, you want a little something, that's great. But when you score a movie, that's why so many movies sound the same.
Yeah.
It's not that they use the same soundtrack, they're just using the same in-house studio stuff. George Lucas decided, no, I want an orchestra. Fuck your studio shit. I want a world experience orchestra, and I want a conductor. Right? John Williams came in and redefined cinematic scoring.
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference. These days, what do? These guys are going to go out and find, the London Philharmonic and a conductor who's nearly as good as John Williams and have him score this movie. No. I can't even promise they had enough money to get like granola bars for guys at the end of the day.
Right.
It's a zero budget. But here's what they did do. They were able to go to someone
who knows what they're doing.
Yes, and not use stock sounds. There's plenty of them out there, and I don't fault people who put some at least effort into their stock music and stock sounds.
Sure.
Right? Because it's free. Use it. Shit, why wouldn't you? Maybe studios should use some of it. Save a little money. But we've had people who you can see they just like plucked and grabbed, threw it in there, and it's just so mismatched in everything.
They searched tense music and grabbed the first thing that popped up.
Yep, it doesn't fit. When you have someone who's going to score your movie, they have to watch it.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have to. That's the thing. She did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just say that, right?
It felt like it fit.
Exactly. And the whole, 42 credits as a composer. That's no small thing.
Right.
Right. And we haven't heard all of it, but I can say definitely on this film, she did a fantastic job. So Jackie Joy undoubtedly saved this film. I'm going to say why. Technically, we talked about how it was good. the movement scenes were what's the word? Oh, I had it. It's gone. I'll just say they were very economical,
Yes.
right? They didn't drag on like Lord of the Rings, 7.5 minutes, I think, is 6 minutes too long in a film that, yeah, I get it. They're walking.
Yeah.
They're walking. This one was nice and good. But here's what saved them. So we know there were sound issues. Because even in the moments where there is no sound, you can tell there's weather
Right.
going on, right? Nature is all up in their shit. Scoring, and beautifully scoring. It's very simplistic. It's not overly dramatic, but it's inviting. It fit the tone, and it began and ended the way it should.
And it tied everything together in a lovely
Yes.
bow.
Yes. And when you have that kind of score, you don't have to have anything else. You don't need to worry about the sound. You don't need to worry about any dialogue. You don't need to worry about Foley work, putting in the footsteps and ambient animal sounds in the forest and the skies and all that, blah, 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 blah. Music can make or break a movie.
Yeah.
And we've had some examples of that. Listeners will know this was great, but then this happened and I just checked out. In this one, it fit.
Mm-hmm.
It brought everything together, and you can tell it was scored because it wasn't like cut. That's the thing. You have a scene that's a minute and a half. You found this brilliant piece of 4-minute music, right? But the part you want is either right at the beginning or in the middle. And a lot of people will start that up with like no fading in and no fading out. Just and then it's gone. I think you put a little more attention into that. There are ways to fix that for free. But the scenes would start and the music would come in, it would play out, and it would fade out.
Yeah.
And you could tell it was a whole piece, not just
right.
random bits pieced together. And I say that it saved this movie because they didn't have to come up with other stuff, especially for the travel bits.
Right.
They were done so well. I think any other kind of sound based on their environment and equipment and stuff would have really made that kind of annoying to the point where you wouldn't have caught how well they were done.
Right.
Composers, people, they're important.
Vital.
And when you have someone talented like Jackie Joy, you need to look them up.
Yeah.
Look them up. Talk to them. We have talked about indie musicians.
Yes.
We know one who.
We know a few.
Yeah. Just kind of, doing. Yeah. They do their thing, much in the way independent filmmakers do their thing. And sometimes they get gigs, sometimes they don't, but mostly they'll be in a coffee shop just pouring out shit. You know what? Go to a coffee shop. Listen to a kind of music that really gets you and ask that person, hey, we've talked about before. Do you want to make $100? I can give you $100, man. I can give you $50. Whatever you can afford. Most of the time, they'll be like, yes, please. $50 will go a long way when I have no bucks.
Yeah.
They're not making money off of record sales.
Find your talented friends. I guarantee at least one person who, makes music, or someone who knows someone.
I was going to say, I don't think you're more than 2 steps removed from the music industry, no matter who you are or where you are.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I've got 3 people off the top of my head that if we wanted to, do a composition for a film, reach out to them. And
so, yeah, this music is good. And when you do hire someone, make them watch your work, give them the rough cuts, give them the scenes.
Yeah. And talk to them about how you want it to feel.
Exactly. Because this was tonally appropriate to this film beginning to end.
Yeah.
Like I said, the stock stuff, it's how you cut it's one thing, but what you choose is another.
Yeah.
And we've had some wide swings and a miss.
Yes.
God, what else about this?
I wanted to talk just briefly about the story and dialogue. So 2 separate things, but the story, Good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it was very smart if you want to do an ambitious sort of sci-fi feature without any money, dystopian is kind of the way to go. That's the
It is.
that's the horror of baby sci-fi filmmakers.
Or series.
Yeah.
If you're working on a series as well and you want to pilot something out, we can tell you from experience, choosing a high level, technically expensive
Right.
backdrop.
But with dystopian, it's a smart move. You don't need things to look lush, right? You need things to look shitty,
Right.
right? You need your world to look awful and bleak in the bleak midwinter.
It's easy to achieve.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. When you do dystopian, you are almost guaranteed at least half of your film is outside.
That's true.
And that's the danger point. We've talked about that. When you're outside, even Hollywood can't control everything. They have to call it here and there, but they can do a lot more shooting and a lot more, they've got tens of thousands of dollars of equipment to manipulate natural light.
Here's the thing. If you can finagle it, shooting outside in a field is usually free, as opposed to shooting inside in a studio where you can control everything is expensive.
There's an old saying. If you want to tell whether a movie was actually a scene, not a movie, but a scene was actually shot, Jesus Christ.
If you want it, I believe in you.
See, the more you talk, the further I'm getting away from it. If you want to tell for certain if a scene was shot indoors or actually outdoors, look at the principal actor. No matter how much, like at high noon, between noon and 3 in the afternoon, outside, no matter how many screens they put up to diffuse and filter the light, the intensity of it will make them wince.
Sure.
Look for the wince. If their eyes are squinted at all, that was definitely shot outside. If they're like in the middle of a desert and talking to somebody and the sun's up and there's like slight winds blowing and their eyes are just like, frying pan open, not the slightest bit of squint, then that was a 100% shot in a studio, if not green screen as well.
Yeah.
It's a simple, stupidly simple little thing, but that's the problem. Shooting outside, you got to buy into it.
Free, but tough. So,
yeah.
If you want to make a sci-fi feature, you have no money.
Right.
Dystopian.
Yeah.
And then also you have no money. You can't have that many characters, right?
Yeah.
2 is a good number.
Unless you got a boatload of people who are like, I'll do it for free.
Yeah, that never happens.
Not often, and not for long.
Right. Not unless you're extremely charismatic and have no personal life, I guess.
There's that too.
What you want to do kind of decides your story, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that this was a good story. It definitely falls in on that like periodic table of storytelling as far as classic 2-person stories go.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I think that Aiden, I believe, was the writer.
Yeah, Aiden Cheryl.
Yeah.
Cheryl.
So, hey. Nice job.
Yeah. Well, and we've talked about write your script, write your story, and then look at it realistically.
And Aiden played Eli, I believe, in the film as well. So, yeah.
Okay.
What you have available dictates your story. The story falls on that sort of classic, it's a couple man versus machine, man versus man versus himself.
And it's a morality tale.
And it is a morality tale. And he worked in that metaphoric bag situation.
Yes.
And
Which could be, like I said, it'd be a lot of things. It'd be interesting to get to the bottom of that.
Yeah.
You know,
And I also liked that he sort of went with imagining what the future for this world might, could look like.
dialogue.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
To me, it was conversational. I felt at ease with, two people who are decidedly weird because they walked out of
Sure.
a known, here's where the food is, here's where, the safety is, quote unquote, into the wilderness. Right. I think overall, I thought the actors did a good job bringing in the right amount of time. It wasn't rushed.
Yeah.
Like you see some people, I think we should go. Yes, we should go do that. Okay, well then let's go. Okay, well then let's go. It's like, God, you guys late for something. The beats were good.
Yeah.
It wasn't jarring.
No.
It felt natural.
I think it was very good. I think the only places it could use polishing is like the things that you learn a little bit more with time, right? Kind of softening the edges of the dialogue and the timing of the back and forth of the beats. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Oh, there's room for improvement.
Right.
But I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah.
For this film at this point, I think they did really well.
I agree.
And they did well enough where it didn't turn me away. Because other than music and shaky cams, dialogue is another thing that'll shut me right out. As it should. It should shut out audiences. If you got shit dialogue, either in written or performance, that's terrible.
And the acting was very good. I mean, Aiden and Colin were the top two. I think Thomas popped in as one of the AI guys.
He's the one that got shot and fell back.
Right.
He got a death scene.
He got to die in his own movie. But Aiden and Colin both did wonderful jobs. And, I enjoyed watching them. And I think that their relationship through the film was very interesting to watch, how that developed. And for people who are, I'm willing to bet with a $0 budget that Aiden and Colin were not just acting in the movie, but were also doing a whole bunch of other things.
Probably.
Setting shit up. And wearing many hats when doing a film is something that you always do in indie film. And it is always something to admire because in studio films, if you're an actor, that's it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, unless you're also like producing and, as some of the A-list actors do, but.
Right. And we hear the stories of actually, people jumping in. That's rare. Those are like really cool people. But as a whole, when you show up in a studio film as an actor, you're there to act. And unless there's a fight and you need to, defend your person against it, pretty much whatever goes on, they're like, man, fucking whatever. I'm either saying my shit today or not.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
And I'll do it tomorrow.
But kudos to both of them. I will say, Colin, who played Beckett, clearly was having a lot of fun with Beckett being crazy.
Everybody has fun from this the like most minuscule, we're talking like seconds of film, to the 4-hour monstrosities that Hollywood puts out. Everybody fucking loves being the bad guy.
Oh, it's so fun.
We've talked about it. It's liberating. The bad guy is the shit. It's the thing to be. The good guy's always got rules and regulations and morals and this and that and shit holding them back. And the bad guy is just this big swinging dick running through town, throwing fucking whatever he's got in his basket out into the street and fuck all of you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I liked his way.
He had a fun energy.
He did.
About him.
And when he got into describing his AI boss and reading the journal, he had the same kind of flip.
Yeah.
That sort of like he means business, but he's being really cool about it.
Yeah.
Stay out of my fucking book.
But Aiden, on the other hand, had this very like terse seriousness to him and this like earnestness that I found very admirable.
Well,
Lots of lessons.
lots of lessons here. These guys did a bang up job.
Yeah. I was going to say, I highly recommend you go and find this movie on YouTube and watch it.
Absolutely. Rogue Barrens, look at their road short stuff, look at the other things that they've got going, and, maybe even drop a line,
Mhm.
right? Just, it doesn't take much to comment, not to be a dick about things, but to actually just tell somebody, hey, good work. Nice job. I liked it.
Mhm.
How much does that cost? Yeah, these guys should be proud. And I hope we will see more. I would
Maybe we'll
like
get
to
to
watch.
talk to them.
I would love to talk to them. And I definitely want to see an evolution. This is a rare thing. It's a rare thing to come in on a group of filmmakers who will hopefully keep going. Like we have the Pondo Boys, but we've retroactively watched
Yes.
their work. We haven't been able to follow them through their whole career,
Mhm.
kind of thing. It would be cool to talk to these guys and see this, and then see the next one and talk to them, and not just watch visually their expertise and skill grow as they hone their skills, but to over time talk to people who their perspectives are going to change, their
Yeah.
interpretations are going to change, and just to kind of like catalog that. Just it's just like the ability to watch somebody grow at a slightly more intimate level than just watching Spielberg throw out films,
Right.
because you never get to talk to them.
That's really cool. I'm very excited.
So yeah, we have a website.
lordsofmisrulproductions.com. It's all there.
Yep, everything. And by everything we mean,
Oh, you want me to list out the things?
no, I was gonna have you say everything.
Everything.
All right, there we go.
All the things.
Yep, I don't even want to talk about it.
That's it.
Go there, check it out, do the stuff.
Mhm.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, dial back a couple episodes, and well, hopefully you'll hit one where we do talk about it, because we're kind of hit and miss lately. But anyway, see some movies, folks.
For sure.
See some movies. We have a large back catalog of things we've covered. 90, I would say 94% are out of the park.
Absolutely.
And
send aloe-infused thoughts our way. God,
yes. Support and burn cream. I'm going to bring that up real quick. Why the fuck doesn't anybody have actual burn cream? When we're done with this, I brought it up on my phone just before we started. We went to Walgreens and then we grocery shopping at Woodman's. But Walgreens, of all places, should have burn cream.
Right.
That says burn cream, not sunburn, not stuff that's not burn cream.
We're struggling, man.
Right? In our little military emergency kit, we have those two little things, and I don't want to use them until I'm satisfied that I can find a replenishment of burn cream.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is, for our listeners, keep us in your thoughts, and please infuse aloe vera into your thoughts when you're sending vibes.
Yes.
I don't know how you're going to do that, but it's up to you to figure out.
I don't know either.
I figured out how to use the gimbal on my little...
And I have been watching you play with it.
What?
For the...
Me?
I'm just waiting for something to happen. Anyway, these guys did wonderfully. Not only should you watch movies and stuff, if you're in the business, take some lessons, gain some inspiration. You're ridiculous.
I'm not.
Gain some inspiration from these things. So we have a wonderful composer, and it just shows nothing is out of reach.
Yeah.
Right? You are part of a massive community, even though being a creative is actually a small community globally.
Well, this is a wonderful professional film.
Yes. And you can make yours one as well. You just need those key elements. And, maybe you do have a DSLR. A lot of people shoot on DSLRs,
Yeah.
Anyway. So.
With
that, make your stuff, reach out. We would love to hear from you.
Mm-hmm.
And other people would too. So do your things and just keep going. Keep going. Write, direct, play music, make music, write music, think of music. I don't know if that's a paying job, but
it isn't.
Okay. Damn.
Until next time.
Until next time, B-Siders.
This is Danny.
And this is Jim.
And we'll catch you next week when we're maybe not so sunburned.
Oh, God, I hope so. Bye, everyone.
Bye.